Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so welcome to another Road to BlizzCon Heroes of the Storm European Open. It's from the first qualifier. It is another round of 64 game, and let's get straight into it. So, ladies and gentlemen, spawning on the left-hand side, it is the blue team of Gamers2. And damn, that's a cool combination of mount and hero. But playing the Abathur, it is going to be Nika. Playing the Zagara, it will be Bajek. Elysium is being played by Yuva, Anubrak by Shehu, and the Rhaegar by Leo from Korea. And their opponents on the right-hand side of the map, it is going to be Elysium Gaming Black. And playing the Valor, it is going to be Nevermore BG, aka just Nevermore. I played against this team, they are very good. We have the Johanna being played by Saka. We have the Arthurs being played by Mondirk. We have the Malfurion being played by Mitch, but we will just call him Mitch. And we have the Nazebo being played by Dirty Swede. And when I say this team is good, they are good by my standards, because I got absolutely wrecked when I played against these guys, and I am terrible. But we will see how they fare up against Gamers2 in this particular round. Immediate Frost presence coming out from the Arthurs, a talent we don't see very often, which is the cooldown of Howling Blast, so it's very much a gank-based build right now. Whereas Abathur, starting off with the increased health on Locust, so going for very much a pushing and backdooring style build. Everyone else, pretty standard other than Valor, starting off with the Siphoning Arrow. So she's just going for the more sustain build, which is still pretty standard when you're against someone like an Illidan, who wants to dive you because you're going to be using your bolts a lot more. Might as well gain a benefit from it by getting a second shot, which is what you get on level 7. And Yuva already taking a lot of damage here, a lot of harassment from Nevermore, who can just harass from range. And even with his shield that he gets on the level 1, he's still already forced back to Fountain. Nevermore doing a very good job of out-dueling him here. There we go, trying to bait. Go on, then dive me. I can out-duel you very nicely for the moment. Abathur jumping onto him. Looks like he wants to try it. He's going to do a lot of damage. Volts backwards instantly. There's the Hungering Arrow. Doing a lot of damage with Siphoning Arrow. It's going to just regen a lot of health. And they already come out on even health. The difference is Yuva will heal from minions, whereas Nevermore has to rely on fountains and his Q, which does have a 14-second cooldown, which is why the Volt regeneration is going to be very important later on. Meantime, bot lane's pushing up pretty nicely for the side of Elysium Gaming Black with the Nazebo doing a very aggressive push here. Abathur has moved his way to the top lane, as we saw earlier, so he is trying to push against Valor, which is going to be still quite difficult. Yuva hitting the Abathur on his head, but not going to jump onto Nevermore. Instead, just going to help clear the wave and then back up with the help of the Abathur shield, so he doesn't take too much damage, while trying to keep this lane pushed and help Abathur take away that tower ammo. The Roar coming in from Johanna here, very interesting. The extra 50% damage to the Punish ability, and wow, this is aggressive. Coming from Gamers2, running straight through that watchtower. They're going to capture it now in their favour. Dirty Sweet is around here, and they want to try and steal this easy cap out of it, or at least deny it. And it appears to have worked. We're going to see Mondirk remount up and begin to head back to the bot lane, or at least grab the watchtower back, and Malfurion go B, so there's going to be no easy camp being taken by the side of Elysium Gaming Black. And Tribute has just spawned in the top lane. Shehu is going to be the one to try and take it. Nevermore is here, runs into an Abathur mine and a Beetle, so it needs to be very careful. But he can deny this for quite some time, and with that Hungering Arrow, it will actually went to the rest of the shots from Hungering Arrow. They're going on to Nevermore, but nice Volt will keep him nice and healthy there. And the Hunter Killer will zone him out for a while. Bajek will be able to allow Shehu to pick this up, as no one else is coming to help Valor, as they were all busy in the mid lane. Leo needs to be very careful here. He could get rooted, and that could be pretty disastrous. Mondirk just standing right next to him, but just choosing not to engage because he had no reinforcements, just trying to zone Leo out at the moment. Trying to deny some XP, but not going to work. Wasn't there in time. Rhaegar just arriving in time to pick up that far right minion here, who is still yet to die, so that's pretty good for them. There's the first root. No follow-up for it. The zombie ward would come down, but it was far too late. Leo just running into that. Just taking a little bit of damage. Bajek coming in, trying to just focus down some people, do some little bit of extra damage, and of course, drop some creep tumors. Given lane vision does get rooted. Where's the follow-up route from the Arthurs? No, they killed the gate though. They're just going to plow through this. Bajek, down he goes. I'm not sure what, that was the Nazebo poison, so they were able to kill that off. very, very nicely. And level 7 has been hit by Elysium Gaming, which is good for them. They will push in this bot lane, grab this tower, and create all the XP from it. And Valor, really risky builds here, going for the searing attacks here, instead of the Volt refreshing Hungering Arrow, purely relying on single shots of that Hungering Arrow to do the health regen that they need. Enduring growth from the Malfurion, so not going with the cleanse, but there's only really one person to cleanse, and that would be a Nubrak, so that does make quite a bit of sense. Gamers2 rolling into this area, but here comes all of Elysium Gaming. Rhaegar's very far out at the moment. Illidan getting ready to deny this. Shiftle is here as well. No one is going to deny this, so this will go over to Elysium Gaming, and they will also drive back the rest of Gamers2. However, Abathur was soaking while all this was going on, so Gamers2 do get quite a bit of XP back for this, despite the fact they are now 1 tribute to 1, which isn't terrible for them. They are still in a pretty safe position, but super risky with that searing attack. She's going to waste so much mana, and with Malfurion not taking any regen or extra mana regen, he is going to just purely be relying on the base innovate in order to do this. Nevermore going super aggressive once again, straight away onto this Illidan, just poking him away so that she can control the lane in the way that she wants. Other than this, most of the talents are pretty based on everyone, so we're not seeing anything too far out of the ordinary, other than the Valor and of course what we mentioned earlier, the Roar coming in from the Johanna. And the fact there's no cleanse, but once again, there's nothing really to cleanse on. They're moving into this tribute area once again. It is on the side of Gamers2, but they're not really reacting to it, but they do already have quite a few people in the mid lane. Two of which who can jump a wall. Let's say Illidan, though, is going to ignore it. He's in fact going to try and meet Nevermore on the way down, and he does. So Nevermore going to be in some serious trouble here, and Abathur does have the increased range and damage on the spike, and Illidan does take the Valor down. And now, this is very much Gamers2's fight to lose. They're going to push in with this. Try as much as possible. Abathur soaking XP while this is going on. There's the knock-up onto Malfurion, and Illidan has just arrived. He's going to try and focus down Malfurion. He does not have Abathur on his head. Abathur has just arrived to join Illidan on his head, and now they're going to focus down the Arthurs. Arthurs, even he cannot take on the might that is the Illidan Abathur, and also the entire rest of the team of Gamers2. So they will be able to take control of this, and will grab that tribute in a very convincing fashion. Heroics available for everyone right now. Devouring Maw, Metamorphosis, Web Blast, and Ancestral Healing with the Ultimate Evolution for double Illidan power coming in from Gamers2. And on the side of Elysium Gaming Black, we have the Strafe on the Valor, Blessed Shield on Johanna. Arthur's yet to pick. He does actually have pretty good choice between those two. The Tranquility on the Malfurion and the Gargantuan on the Nazebo. Magic moving back so he doesn't get caught in the Golem route. Illidan just pretty much soloing this. He will get some help. Johanna comes in to try and deny. So does Arthas. That's a lot of tankiness. Web Blast used on Johanna though. All they have to do is take down Arthas and they can't get this. Johanna pops out of the Web Blast. So much damage is being done. But Johanna is starting to drop. Down goes Nubrak though. Here comes Nevermore to continue to try and deny this. And it looks like they're going to be able to steal this. And they do. Very well played by Elysium Gaming. They're able to raid this and take full control of that boss camp, and put themselves a bit ahead in XP. In the meantime, Abathur was just able to waltz over here, and he will pick up the tribute. There's no way that Nazebo will be able to interrupt this in time. So, he and Mitch will just begin pushing this mid lane, while Abathur moves back to top, continues to push and soak in this lane, while his Locusts just do the job. So, you can see, Abathur's gone a combination of split push build and help build here. He still starts off with the Locust, but he has got the extra attack speed and the extra poke, so he's being helpful when he's on the Illidan with the extra attack speed, and deadly in the fights with the Needle Spine, while still continuing to push with Locust. And the next two talents will more than likely be Locust talents as well. We can now see Elysium Gaming. They have control of the map, so they're starting to do their own boss as well. However, Gamers2 doing their usual style of just immediately starting to split push and gain some XP, and because of that, they're still even on XP with Elysium Gaming, and once they take down this fort, they're about to become ahead. And this is all during the curse that Gamers2 were able to get, so they're absolutely free to do this, and they were already able to kill off that boss after only losing a fort, and it didn't even get to the towers. So very well played by them. And Gamers2 a little bit ahead in XP right now despite losing their boss. Nubrak in full retreat as he was almost caught out. Level 13s available for both teams. There is the Bombard Strain coming in from Abathur. The boss in the top lane is going to be a bit of an issue for him, but he will begin to clear that. We can see a couple members of Gamers2 coming up to assist with the clear up crew. We have the Groove Spines coming in from Zagara, so the extra damage on that Hunter Killer, which is going to be very good at focusing down whoever they want to, if they can hold them still long enough. 6th Sense on the Illidan, pretty standard. Burning Rage on the Anubarak, and the Healing Surge on the Rhaegar. On the side of Elysium Gaming Black, we have the Frost Shots coming in from the Valor, allowing her to kite a lot better. We have the Burning Rage on the Johanna. Arthas, once again, yet to pick. He did pick Army the Dead, by the way, for his heroic. There we go. He's picking the Biting Cold, the damage increase on his Frozen Wastes. Sorry, his Frozen Tempest. And there we go. Here's the engagement. Yuva going on to Arthas here, but he does get Shrink Ray, taking a lot of damage. But has to Metamorphosis to get out here. Web Blast has already been used on Malfurion, but he has already escaped. And Gamers2 just pulling back there, disengaging from this. And I don't think I've seen an Ultimate Evolution yet, but we may see one quite soon because this might be a decent place for them to engage. They are on the same level. Looks like they're going forward. Rhaegar has been caught in the zombie wall, but they're continuing to go aggressive here. And we do have an Ultimate Evolution Illidan there, but it did go down. And that was the only thing that looks like it's going to go down. Yuva having to back up here. Shickle does have his Burrow Charge available, so he can get out of this. He's been rooted, though. Burrow's not very far, and the Ancestral doesn't go down in time. He kind of messed up by coming up too early there. Illidan, though, turning this onto Shaka, trying to take him down while there were people in the moor, but the moor has ended already. Illidan does get rooted, and we're seeing one trying to take him down. There's the root again. Illidan goes down to an Ancestral. Once again, does not go off, so he gets the cooldown on very short, but once again, not enough. And we're now going to see Elysium Gaming pulling back here after a very nice early game. And they can continue to do basically whatever they want. They will grab this watchtower. Abathur's still here. You can immediately see him tunnel to the bottom lane as he needs to help defend this. And the fact that, well, Elysium Gaming will more than likely just waltz up here and kill this fort. And if Abathur's there, when that happens, he will almost 100% die. However, that fort will be saved for the time being due to the fact that a tribute has spawned, and Elysium Gaming are going to go down and claim that as their own, while the rest of them, if they need to, go back and get some health. We saw Malfurion, he's already gone back to get some health. The rest grab fountains and are going to start with this Bruiser Cap. So very nice there. Gamers2, they're also going to grab their own Bruiser Cap. They feel very confident they can grab this without any kind of contention, and they are right, because Elysium Gaming are on the other side of the map. Level 16s coming very close for both teams. Once again, Elysium Gaming are ahead, so they will hit it first. They want to be very aggressive here, and as such, they're moving into the last remaining fort, aka the top lane fort. And they will absolutely be able to grab this and grab their level 16. In the meantime, Gamers2 continuing to just ignore the defense and just counter push as hard as they can. They have bruisers in the mid lane, so they can push pretty hard here. They can't push onto a fort, though, because that top fort's already dead. And Elysium Gaming, one of them's going to grab the watchtower, the rest all coming mid. Illidan has given up on that bot push, leaving Abathur to it, as Abathur did take the Locust Nest, and is going to help try and push in, but they've already got the fountain. They're not going to get much more out of this, and Anubarak has already used his Burrow Charge, doesn't have much else after this. He doesn't have time to mount up. Now he does. Able to get out. Yuva going very aggressively, though, is able to escape, though. So level 16s for both teams. Let's have a quick look at them. The Imposing Presence coming in from the Johanna, I do quite like this. Immortal Coil coming in from the Arthas, which is another talent we don't see very often. Death Coil also heals you when used on enemies, and the amount of self-heal is increased by 50%, so gives him once again a lot more sustain. Harnum Focus on the Malfurion, the Leaping Spiders on the Nazibo, and Blood for Blood on Valor. And we're seeing, wow, Elysium Gaming ignoring the tribute here, despite the fact it will be a cursed tribute, and going straight for their boss. Gamers2 know exactly what this means and are coming down to try and contest. They're going around the long way, which may give Elysium Gaming time to grab this, and in fact it will. They will grab this in time, but Gamers2 are coming in. They want to try and maybe get a kill for this. They have the Abathur Clone. Abathur Clone going in there. No one gets rooted by the Golem root. Nika, the Abathur Clone, is taking a lot of damage, but a lot of abilities were used on him, and because of that, they were able to see exactly what's going on. They throw away some XP, but they know they can't really engage this, which is good for them. Having a look at the heroics from Gamers2, once again, we already mentioned we have the Locust Brood coming in from Abathur, which is pushing the top lane currently very hard. We have the Brood expansion, so 2 of the Brood Spine Hunter Killers, which are really deadly in terms of damage. The double Blood for Blood on Illidan and Anubarak, and the Tidal Wave. So full healing from the Rhaegar, which is pretty awesome. He also went to Shadow Wolf, because he does not need that very hard. Boss, already down to half health. Elysium Gaming just continue to push in right now. And Gamers2 taking a lot of damage thanks to those spiders. Zombie Wall catches Shickle, but he does have Burrow Charge. He just doesn't need to at the moment. And the root from Arthur's a bit premature there. Boss, already dead. Elysium Gaming just going to pull out. They don't need to. And in the meantime, Nika once again able to sneak another tribute. And he's just going to be out of here. He's not even going to slither away. Just going to be back to base to make sure he's in a safe position and wait for his tunnel to come back up so he can continue to do his backdoor nonsense, as he already did grab top fort. And Amethyr is 100% keeping Gamers2 in this game. We can see XP counts. He has 13,000 XP, a lot more than anyone else in the team, and only a little more than the top earners on the other team, but it's still pretty good. He is keeping his team in this game, absolutely. In the meantime, Elysium Gaming posturing for the boss. Not sure if they want to do it yet, but Gamers2 also posturing to maybe try and contest them. Shichel scouts to find they're not doing it, but Yuva runs straight into Monduk there, but is able to dash out with his sweeping strike and make sure that he does not get picked off there. And this is what Elysium Gaming are doing. They're trying to zone at the moment. They don't need to do boss. What they need to do is to kill a member of Gamers2 so that they have an opportunity to do boss. And that's what they're trying to do. They're just zoning you out, trying to force Gamers2 to either go do something else or to engage badly. But now Arthas has pushed them so far back and has such good vision that they were thinking about starting boss. However, they cancel that boss instantly because now they let Gamers2 grab 2 tributes basically for free. So what they're going to do is they have to fight for this, because if they don't, then Gamers2 will get a curse, and that will be their time to mount maybe a comeback. Valor very far back here. Gamers2 going around the long way once again, except for Illidan and the Nubrak. They can deny from over the wall and they can engage from over the wall. Batek, nice invested drop there, able to zone out once again. Shihu tunneling to the safer side of the wall, but we have the 2 Zeratons coming into the back here. They're immediately going on to the Malfurion. Malfurion does get web blasted. Valor gets a full strafe off, but Yuva trying to focus her down. He's now changed targets onto Monduk. Shichel gets rooted and he does go down, but Monduk getting dropped very low, but he's so tanky he does go down. Yuva gets rooted. Will he be going down as well? Yes, he does. And once again, Elysium Gaming Black able to take full control. It looks like they're going to try and go for the core here. A very risky move, but they do have 4 versus 2, and one of those 2 is an Amethyr. And Bashek gonna try and zone this out. Throws down his group spine Hunter Killer. Does a lot of damage. And Saka, taking a lot of damage. He might go down here. Hunter Killer taking a lot of damage. The core getting dropped so low. Amethyr trying to help this out. Mitch is being dropped low, and down goes Valor. They're taking too much damage from the core, and it looks like this may have been a terrible mistake. Johanna goes down. Dirty Swede is going to go down. Down goes Mouth, and there goes Dirty Swede. Mistakes were made, and now Gamers2 are going to go and grab the curse. Amethyr has already tunneled there and will be picking that up, and Bashek will be heading straight towards the enemy golem by the looks of this, or maybe just up to that top lane to try and push. The rest of his team is on the way to go join him with whatever he's doing. Looks like he's just going to start boss. Invested drop to tank the boss until his team gets there, and they will be able to do this, and then they can push top lane due to the fact that it's still been pushing this entire time. Arthas is back alive. He died during the fight earlier, not during the core dive there. Amethyr just walking his way towards this area right now to throw down more locusts. This boss will 100% be going over to Gamers2. They do get rooted by it, but they will be able to take this, and then they will try and push as much as possible. Revive timers are pretty low now for Elysium Gaming, but Gamers2 are now ahead for the first time. Level 20 is available for everyone. We have the Hive Mind coming in from Amethyr, not the Locust Nest. So he is once again going to just be jumping on his team and helping as much as possible. Bolt of the Storm from the Zagara, the Demonic Form from Illidan, and they are now going in. Hardened Shield from Anubarak, and the Storm Shield coming in from the Rhaegar. They're choosing not to fully engage right now because Amethyr is still split pushing with Locusts, and with the Curse still active, it's going to do a lot of damage. Nevermore having to re-change his angle of engagement to try and get rid of this. And now that the boss is here, this keep is going to take a lot of damage. Curse is now over, but that's not going to stop Gamers2 from continuing to push this in. Down goes the keep. The boss still at half health. They continue to push it in. There's the Storm Shield. They want to try and engage right now. Anubarak does get rooted. Illidan going on to Nevermore, changing his target once again onto Johanna. The Metamorphosis does not really land anyone, but he was still at full health the entire time. Web Blast used on the back line. I'm not sure who that is onto. Yuva taking a lot of damage. He hits Shrink Raid as well, but he's able to get back out of there. And Arthas comes out of that Web Blast trying to get onto Shihu. Boss is on the core, but it's very low at this point. And Anubarak, will he be able to turn around? No, he doesn't. He gets taken down as well. And Gamers2 disengaging as much as possible. The boss, though, is about to die. In the meantime, Locusts are continuing to push this keep. As much as possible, boss goes down, and more Locusts are coming in. They have to waste time clearing that up. And it looks like they're thinking about a backdoor. And that is super risky right now. But Elysium Gaming, they're heading down to the bot lane. I think they're going to try and deal. No, they're going to try and do the boss, and Gamers2 are just going to try and backdoor with 3 members and an Amethyr. While they do this, I think they're waiting just for Amethyr to be ready and be safe. They know the boss has now been started thanks to Amethyr's mines. And there we go. Immediately, they start on that back door. And the reaction from Elysium Gaming is to do the exact same thing. They're going to try and base race this, but the shield is already down. The core is going down so quickly by Gamers2. They have a clone Zagara to take this down. Those Hunter Killers do so much damage. They haven't even started. Elysium Gaming bursting it down, but it's too late. Wrong decision. And GG, Gamers2 will take game number 1. Very well played by them. And wow, that was very interesting. Elysium Gaming looking in very strong form. That was like a reverse Gamers2 from what we saw at the WCA qualifiers, where basically they were completely dominant for the early games in most of their games, and then made small mistakes. But in this case, they were just a little bit behind due to Elysium Gaming just getting some key engagements and some key pickoffs, but came back for a great comeback, and we see the kills ending 10-10. So very well played by then. So let me just quickly switch to the scene so you can't see how many games were in this series while I quit out and load up the next replay of game number 2. And I hope the teams are still on the correct sides, so hopefully we won't miss out on too much. The next match is going to be Tomb of the Spider Queen. Once again, this is a round of 64 game. Are they on the right side? Yes, they are. So, ladies and gentlemen, spawning on the left-hand side, currently 1-0 up in this series, it is Gamers2. And playing the Valor, it is going to be Nika. Playing the Asmodan, it will be That works! Playing the Asmodan, it will be Bashek. He appears confused. Playing the Johanna, it will be Yuva in there somewhere, trying to show him. Leoric is being played by Shichel. And Leo from Korea is playing the Malfurion. And on the right-hand side, it is the red team of Elysium Gaming Black. And that's an interesting pick I can see there, but we'll go through them in order. We see the Kale Vass is being played by Nevermore BG. Tyrael being played by Mondurk. The ETC being played by Saka. Uther is being played by Mitch. And the Nazebo is being played by Dirty Swede. And Elysium Gaming with the ETC, very interesting, especially because they're against an Asmodan, so they kind of want to go very aggressive onto this Asmodan, I guess, as ETC is a very aggressive hero choice. They want to try and pick someone off here. They're going in already onto Leoric, and Leoric, though, using his Wraith Walk, making him immune to stuns, so Saka is at the power side there, didn't really do that much. And he's starting off with the power side build, rolling like a stone as his level 1 talent. Meantime, once again, it's another Asmodan comp on this map. So, starting off with the Taste for Blood, just that huge amount of damage, and the Siphoning Arrow. Makes a lot of sense considering it is a double warrior comp coming out of Elysium Gaming Black. And Asmodan continuing to stack up, and we've already found out from previous games on Caldor's channel that I cast with him live, that Leoric, very good for these Asmodan style comps. Very effective at that Saka. Just being zoned out a little here. A lot of damage going down, but neither team able to get involved. They're both sort of going for harassment and looking like fighting, but neither one is going for a kill. In the meantime, Nika is just dueling with Dirty Swede in the bot lane. Neither one gaining a huge advantage. Seeing a bit of an engagement there. Flame Strikes once again, just doing bits of harassment here and there to Gamers2. Neither one gaining a huge advantage. Saka, once again, just being left on his own up in this top lane is going to get a Drain Hope on him and a Globe of Annihilation. That's a lot of damage. And he needs to heal up again, and he's wasting a lot of mana on these guitar solos to keep himself healthy, as they do cost 40 mana each. And ETC, not one of the most full in terms of mana heroes. And more stacks coming in. We're seeing Tyrael trying to deny it as much as possible. It's only 70 stacks right now for Bashek, which is still pretty good, but not as good as we have seen in some cases. Tyrael doing a very good job of shielding minions to try and deny this. Saka continuing to just hold this top lane for the moment. Asmodan actually went down to the bot lane to gain a stack there, and it worked out quite well for him. Just trying to get away from Tyrael as much as possible. 82 available. Leo from Korea looking to try and set him up, but choosing not to at the moment. Yuva moving in here, gonna set up another stack, and boom. Managed to get a couple of them. 96, he's almost at that, first 100. So, he's doing a pretty good job. And Saka, you want to go aggressive onto an Asmodan comp this early, but oh, nice denial there. Trying to deny, they need to try and kill this minion wave off somehow, or at least let it die to try and deny Asmodan that Globe of Annihilation. He still has cooldowns. Nazebo gets taken down in the bot lane by Valor. Asmodan does have his globe up now. He wants to try and get it, but the minion wave all died. Very nice by ATC here, using his face melt, sorry, in order to face that. Valor goes down this time. ETC roams down through that bot lane, but nice use of the face melt to deny the stacks to Asmodan. At least a couple, just slows him down a little bit. He's on 110 though, so he is a fifth of the way towards his max damage. And the Tyrael with the shield once again denying more stacks to Asmodan, and they're just slowing him down. That's all they're doing right now. It is still currently 1 kill to 1. Both of the kills on the bot lane members here. And Saka playing very far forward because once again he wants to try and deny these stacks to Asmodan with his face melt ability. Did not deny it that time. Was not in there quick enough. And Asmodan was able to get pretty much the full wave that time. 132 is his current stack count. Having a look at some other abilities, we actually see Leoric going with the Royal Focus. If your body takes no damage during Wraith Walk's duration, the cooldown is reduced by 4 seconds. A very interesting talent choice. Very nice for engagement. And oh, we're seeing Leoric take a lot of damage here. He's not getting out of that with no damage. Down he goes into his ghost form. And that is another kill over to Elysium Gaming Black. And Shikul though, just regenning off of Saka there, getting as much health back as possible. And he's going to be back in the fight very, very quickly after that, getting some nice damage off and some good stacks. And we see Mitch get rooted here, but he's easily going to be able to back away from this and keep himself very, very healthy indeed. Other talents we can see on most people, ETC going with the double next guitar like we normally see. The Neverwind coming from Kael'thas, not willing to risk the gathering power, especially when you're against an Asmodan who could chunk you at any moment. Level 7 has been hit by Elysium Gaming and now by Gamers2, so they're going to rush into that Infernal Globe coming in from the Asmodan. The Repeating Arrow from the Valor, much more standard build, unlike the build we saw from Elysium Gaming in the last game. Shihu is finishing off that way, taking a lot of damage here, but he's going to be able to back away from this. The Sins Exposed from Johanna, so a little bit of extra damage helps with the Asmodan stacking as well, as any ally's ability will proc that extra damage, which is pretty awesome. And boom! Extra stacks indeed. 196, almost half, almost 2/5 of the way there. Saka, once again, backing out there, pops his heal. Still not picked a level 7 talent yet. And Uther going with the Clairvoyance as opposed to the Cleanse. There is a Johanna and a Valor with the potential for a Rain of Vengeance here, so very interesting not going for that. Nevermore backing out here. He's pretty low on mana, so being quite careful with what he does with any kind of engagements here. Asmodan just continuing to stack up. Neither team going for any kind of pure engagements, and neither team yet to get a turn in. Only 2 needed for Elysium Gaming to get their turn in. Monda could just do it right here and now, but there are people protecting both turn-ins for both teams. We're seeing Shikul attempting to do it as well. There it goes over to the blue team. That is Gamers2. They will grab the first turn in their favour. Both teams continuing to stay fairly even on levels, but Asmodan's finally getting going with his stacking. Still on 216, he will eventually be able to get this once he actually uses his cooldowns. There we go. Able to get most of that. In the meantime though, Shihu getting focused down, and he gets a heal from Malfurion and is able to get out there. Very nice, very well played by Shihu. Keeps him alive. And I'm curious to see what this Clairvoyance does from Mitch. We've seen some very interesting talents from Elysium Gaming. It is cool to see the kind of variation that they are bringing in here. But Gamers2 pushing in very aggressively here. Nice timing there with that stacking. And we're seeing him now on 238 and continuing to push in with this Web Weaver. Web Weaver now finally being abandoned as so many members of Elysium Gaming are coming that they need to back up. Bot 1 being killed off pretty quickly by Mondirk, not having too much trouble dealing with that. Level 9 for both teams. Level 10 is very quickly going to be hit by Gamers2 in a very short amount of time. We'll have to see if we once again see March of the Black King coming in from Leoric, or whether they're going to go for the Entomb. Most teams have been going for March of the Black King, which is not what I expected because it's so easy to dodge, but they're once again going to go for that March of the Black King. It is quite a lot of damage if you can make your enemy hold still for long enough, and Blessed Shield is a very good ability for that. Asmodan does not land his globe and gets stunned by Uther for his trouble. He will deny to do with a standard auto attack, which I guess works out. Level 10 now been hit by Elysium Gaming. What are they going for? There is the Mosh Pit, Gargantuan, Divine Shields, and Tyrael yet to pick as well. Same with the Kael'thas. It's going to be the Sank once again coming in from Tyrael, and the Phoenix coming in from the Kael'thas. And the Sanctification, considering there's already a cleanse on the Malfurion prepared for that judgment, makes a lot of sense in my opinion. Also, the fact that Sank is another ability that can prevent the Mosh Pit from being interrupted, so they can probably get some nice engagement with this. They're going on to Asmodan. They want to try and pick him off. More, he's dead. Less stacks he can get. Nice engage there. Living Bomb will finish him off. Masmodan does get picked. And Elysium Gaming now just going to try and push in this top laner with their Web Weavers, which will just be arriving, and the Gargantuan they already have. In the meantime, though, Gamers2 killing off the Web Weavers in all the other lanes and soaking XP for this. So they're actually currently coming out ahead, but it depends if Elysium Gaming can get this fort, which it almost definitely looks like they can, because no defense coming from Gamers2. Leo from Korea and Nika looking to come around. That's a really interesting angle from Leo, but no one was ready for him. They weren't able to engage onto him. Bot lane has now been abandoned. Johanna still just soaking up the mid lane. She's fine. She's getting a lot of gems for this and some nice XP for her team. But in comes Elysium Gaming. They want to try and pick her off, but it is Johanna. Nice blessed shield there. Try and give herself a time to escape, but she's not going to get anything. She drops quite a lot of gems. Asmodan's slam does not land on anyone, really. Elysium once again looking very strong in terms of team fight and gank potential, as we saw last game. And Asmodan once again, nice Globe of Annihilation, doing some good damage onto Elysium Gaming, and this time they're forced to back up because that damage was pretty deadly. Gamers2 trying to turn in, but Spiders gonna make that very, very difficult from Dirty Swede. And we're finally going to see Monduk turn in his 31 gems. And that will be not be enough. That is more than halfway towards their next turn in. If Nevermore is able to get his, but they will be very nearly there. We're seeing the Wraithwalk once again used by Shehu. Able to disengage. A bit of a waste of a strafe coming in from the Valor, but it's still damage. And the interruption coming in from Asmodan, but it was not enough to prevent the full red turn in by Elysium Gaming. And they're now once again going to go very aggressive. The Nazeebo went back to get some health and some mana. And Asmodan just continuing to stack. He can now do it solo now that he has his Black Ball and is doing so. But Gamers2 once again on the defensive. We've not seen a full fight come out of Elysium Gaming yet. Their fight comp looks very interesting. But I'm interested to see how much of the Black King throws Expander in the most. Nice amount of damage. I will not be surprised to see groupies. There's the Sank coming in from Tyrael, just to try and prevent any extra damage, but didn't really prevent much at all. Asmodan getting ready for another slam, gets it. Mitch looking very low here. ETC very far forward. He's standing in the field. He's taking a lot of damage. There's the Divine Shield in him. He may just demolish it, and there he goes. Gets the Asmodan and the Malfurion, but the Gargantuan is only focusing onto Yuva, and Saka was being drained. Hope they tied him down. He goes from the slam from Asmodan. Mitch will also go down, and we saw the Nazi boat go down in the top. And that was devastating. Nice strafe there by Nika to follow up on the slam from Bashek. And now Gamers2 immediately take the lead with that and are going to start pushing in to this top area. There was a much of the Black King as well, but I completely missed it. Lil 13's available for both teams. We see the Crushing Hope coming in from the Leoric, which is a talent I very much love. It's another 10% extra damage if you get the full duration of Drain Hope off, which is basically a free blood for blood, other than the extra healing. We have the March of Sin from the Asmodan, very standard on that level for him. Burning Rage on the Johanna. The Life Seek on the Malfurion makes a lot of sense considering there's a Kael'thas on the other team. And Spell Shield coming in from Valor once again because there's a Kael'thas. On the side of Elysium Gaming Black though, we do have the Flamethrower, very standard on that one. No talent yet to be, no talent picked yet for Tyrael. Still making his decision on that Showstopper. Coming in from ETC, a very interesting talent. I really would have preferred Groupies, because they need all kinds of AoE healing they can get, because they are up against an Asmodan. And Groupies, I think, would have really helped them out in this situation. He has just Keep On Rocking as well, reducing stuns, slows, and silences, so does he really need to reduce the damage? Especially seeing as he has an Uther with Divine Shield and a Sanctification Tyrael, prepared to keep him alive at all times. Spell Shield on the Uther, the Sprint on the Nazeebo for safety, and Tyrael still yet to pick. The ETC does get ready to use his Power Slide for escape, but the Web Weavers and Gamers2 are pushing in. There's Web Weavers in the top and the bot lanes as well. There's the slam. Once again, a lot of damage coming out, and this is where Groupies would be very useful to heal up his team. But now, all of the pressure is on Uther, and that's a lot of pressure to heal your entire team when you're basically a solo target healer, which is why you're so good for melee assassins. And Saka able to get out before that huge extra burst comes in. Another slam from Asmodan doing a lot of damage. And Saka is basically turning into the huge engager for his team. He's looking for the angle here. He may get a good one here. Nope, Shehu is just going to drain him and back out. Slam does not land on anyone. This is actually very good for this game. Once again, Power Slide has to be used for an escape, but they've abandoned Mitch. He has a Divine Shield himself. They're trying to body block him to keep him in there. And the Sank to follow up on that Divine Shield will keep Mitch healthy, but it won't keep everyone else healthy because the Slam and Strafe once again take down the Kael'thas and the Gazebo. And this is really bad. They're going on to Leoric here, trying to finish him off so they can get some counter damage, but the slam comes in again onto Monduk and Mitch. So much damage coming in. Nika trying to burst him down, and down goes Mitch. And this is devastation by Gamers2. They're going to continue pushing in here. They don't have any web weavers anymore, but they will take down this keep and are now going to move into the mid lane. Juve just tanking this all up because he can. Demons coming from Azmodan to also help tank. Vasek is on 404 stacks. Stacks not found. And he's continuing to get keeps also not found. And they're going to retreat out of this Wraithwalk from the Leoric. Allows them to back up. Nika choosing not to finish off that tower, instead moving to a safe location. And Monduk dealing with the minion wave that Azmodan left because he killed all of Elysium Gaming's minion wave. Level 16s available for Gamers2 right now. We see Blood for Blood coming in from the Valor and the Azmodan. Another little bit of burst damage. Blessed Hammer coming in from the Johanna, so extra damage as well. Unyielding Despair every second that the Drain Hope is active. Its cooldown is reduced by 1 second. So we have a lot of percentage damage coming in here from Gamers2, which is absolutely lovely. 2 Blood for Bloods for 10% each. The Drain Hope, which is 25%, plus an extra 10% if it goes off, plus the cooldown reduction on it. So you can get a lot of percentage damage off here. This is Monduk choosing not to teleport to his sword. That would have been absolutely deadly. Nevermore getting focused, but nice zombie wall there, preventing any kind of chase. But Juve, he's not done with this. He wants to try and get it. There's the Blessed Shield. The Wraithwalk to get in front of him. The slam a bit late, but it doesn't matter. They still got the kill. And Elysium Gaming, once again, playing on the back foot. ETC just chilling over here, soaking XP, trying to get his team at that level 16. But the Bruiser camp, very, very strong. Very hard for him to kill anymore, especially since he got that level 7 Echo Pedal taken away, which was pretty effective at this kind of wave clear. In the meantime, Gamers2 are up in the top lane, in the pro bid, taking the boss, but there is no one near them to try and stop them. And Gamers2 looking very, very good now, able to once again do pretty well in the early game, but not as well as their opponents, and once again win a very good, convincing fight and take full control of the game again. Level 16 is available for Elysium Gaming. We have the Ignite coming in from the Kael'thas. Once again, Tyrael waiting to pick, as well as ETC. Benediction from the Uther and the Sleeping Spiders from the Nazgul. We do now have Echo Pedal coming in from ETC, so we can now help clear waves if he needs to, but it might be a bit late for that. As Gamers2 moving in, they will take this tower. They're clearing out a minion wave, so they have 2 minion waves with them. It looks like they may want to try and get the core. The slam coming in from Azmodan, doing some extra damage. Gamers2 though, choosing not to dive the core at this point. They're just letting the minion wave do its work, letting the boss get killed off, and the minion wave, no! The core survives on 97 health, but Azmodan can finish that off at his leisure at any point with an unbuffed Globe of Annihilation. Tyrael still yet to make his pick here. He did pick the Imposing Will. Core is under attack, and I don't know what that was aimed at. I thought that was a core, but I did realise that that was insane range, and that was unlikely to be the case. Gamers2 choosing not to be greedy, as they've definitely learned their lessons from WCA, playing super well at the moment. There's the Blood for Blood coming in from Tyrael, finally making his decision, but they're not playing greedy. They're not going to dive unnecessarily. They have their web weavers now. They have a mercenary camp to go with it. The slam lands on no heroes, but it does clear the minion wave, and that's the web weaver is born even further forward. They're going to join it because it's the furthest one forward. Shihu going in very deep with his Wraithwalk, getting for a good angle. Phoenix coming down, trying to get some zoning here. ETC pushing very far forward here, but choosing not to mosh it. He didn't have anywhere near enough people to do that. March of the Black King used as an escape by Shihu there, doing a lot of damage as well. But Gamers2 just disengages. Slam comes in. Nice tranquility there. Sanctification there. Able to disengage. And the full mosh pit on everyone from Gamers2. This is the best fight that Elysium Gaming are going to get. But Nika focusing down on Nevermore, and he's able to take him down. He now turns around and is trying to take care of ETC. There's the stun. Nice one of the storm though. He disengages. Leoric is down, but he'll be able to revive. Dirty Swede is trying to flee, but Shihu is giving vision of him. The slam does not land. The Moonfire did. The second Moonfire, will they finish him off? They need to. In the meantime, though, everyone's on the core, and Nazibo finally going to go down to an auto attack, but they are on the core with 2 sets of web weavers. Nika and the Johanna are on the core, and once again, the web weavers and the camps will be able to do this. In comes Azmodan onto Mitch, and Mitch taking so much damage, but it is GG. And Gamers2 win game number 2, and they will move on to the round of 32. So many 2s, and it is 2-0. Well played by them. And once again, they will move on to the round of 32. That's all the replays that I currently have recorded. So you'll probably see more the next day because I'm casting next day as well, and I'll grab as many replays from there as possible too. But once again, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all next time.